This is Richard Hill speaking. We're working on our second chapter of the art collection, featuring an altar painting, an unfinished altar painting, and we will follow the first chapter, which was a painting by uh, James Albert McNeill Whistler, and that was our first chapter. This is the second chapter. This is from the collection on Portraits on Main, and you will see the information on the first page there. The second page will be a picture of the building itself, Portraits on Main. You'll notice my little Main Street in Cramerton, North Carolina. The third page is one of my favorite pictures of my dog, Harley, and he used to work with me every day and help take care of the art collection. The first item to be recorded next is going to be the unfinished altar painting. It measures 66 inches high, 44 inches wide. It is a unfinished. It has a rip side on the right hand side. It has about 6 holes across the top. When I purchased it at Bronx Auction, I looked at it and it was unfinished, and I said, I don't know how that thing was painted. So I ended up buying the painting, and believe it or not, I was the only bidder, and I purchased it for $110. And I had it brought home back to my collection in the back of an open truck. And over the lifetime of this painting, which I've owned it since, when I bought this painting. I bought it October the 27th in 2001. It was sold as an unfinished Annunciation painting. And so several times I talked to restorers and talked to them about how to get it stabilized. And unfortunately, I made the decision not to have it reworked and refinished and varnished. The painting is in original, unusual condition at 400 years of age. It's never been varnished. It's never been repainted. It's never been scraped. It is in this unfinished natural form, and I think it dates to 1626, is the year that Isabella Rubin died. The face of the seated lady, is the face of Isabella, in my opinion. The face of the angel looking down and pointing to the Holy Spirit in the right-hand corner is the face of Reuben himself. And there's 4 angels above, the Holy Spirit in the top as a dove in the right corner. And in the left corner was a man behind iron bars looking out at what was going on. I worked on this painting. Oh, good gracious. First, I went to a library there at Davidson College, and I noticed that Reuben would use his face and his wife's face in a lot of paintings. So then I started studying Reuben, and then I watched all of his paintings matched up to the work in this painting. Now, what is unusual about this painting, which I think it is super rare. One day, I think there was an extra bird in the part of the old building I have here, and there was some bird droppings on the painting. So I went to clean it up, and when I did, I noticed that the silver paint on the surface of the canvas just came off with the cloth, and I couldn't believe. So it showed me it was unvarnished, never finished, and it is in the natural state, and it looks like it was painted in the style of the fumata, which is a method of painting done by Leonardo da Vinci, the Mona Lisa, and the Virgin. I think the Virgin painting. I was trying to think of the name of the painting. Virgin of the Rocks, and Some of his paintings were 20 to 40 layers. I think this is done the same way in the face, the arms, and in the angels, and in the man in the barred window, and the Holy Spirit. So I think it's and it's a good thing I never had it worked on, because then I'd have to explain what was done to it. This is the only known unfinished Rumata style painting in existence, in my opinion. But we'll go forward and we can come back to that later. But the next page is a copy of the photo of the painting that gives you more detail, and you can see the gold and the silver. By the way, the gold design on the angel Michael is a design of a honeysuckle. Reuben was known to use the honeysuckle to symbolize love, union, and he used that in his first painting of he and his wife Isabella in 1609, and the name of that was In the Honeysuckle Bower, and the design has been confirmed to be in the style of a honeysuckle. And then I checked it further when I had all of the paint analyzed, and we found all of the gold that you see on his armor, and then the gold on her dress, and the gold in the crown, and then on some of the trimming, and then the sword is real gold itself, 24 karat painted gold. So this is super rare. Some people that I have shown this painting to, they would give it a 5-minute look, and they'd say it'd be South America, Mexican, and they would go on. But this matches the work of Peter Paul Rubens, and I will explain more to you later. Let's go to the next page. The next page shows as a receipt from Brunk Auctions, and it shows where I was building on the provenance here. It shows where it was lot 320, and I purchased this painting on October 27, 2001. They had called it the Annunciation. It says this confirmed in the letter. It says it is from the estate of S.C. Evans of Riverside, California, 1866 to 1932. He was the first mayor of Riverside, California, and he was a big collector and had a small museum before he died. Brunk was representing the estate of the mayor, and this was one painting, unfinished painting, that was sold, and I was lucky enough to buy it. Again, the only reason I was able to buy this painting, nobody knew how to finish it. Nobody understood the painting. They didn't understand the style it's painted in, and they didn't have an idea of how to finish it. So let's go to the next page, and it is where we think the painting came from was from the mayor, and he purchased that painting at the Cloister Art Shop in what they call at that time Glenwood Mission Inn, Riverside, California. This is a color image of the gift shop itself. And if you notice in the very top, a little bit to the right of center, there is a old altar portrait on the wall. It is my opinion, and I believe that this is my painting that was being sold by Mission Inn, a Frank Miller, who had traveled to Europe in the early 1900s, traveled all over Spain, all over Europe. He was buying up antiques for his Mission Inn there in Riverside, California. And this was in his antique shop, and I think this is where the mayor bought the painting, and it is on the wall. Here is another. Let's go to the next page, and you will see it is more in black and white. Maybe it's a little bit clearer image of the altar painting at the top center right, with on the wall next to the window. and you can see a brief impression, a reflective of the design, and it does appear to be the angel Michael in the painting. And this is, I feel, this was my painting on the wall. Let's go to the next page. It is another color photo giving more detail and more understanding. And then when you see the silver on this image, this means that that is going to be the brightest color on this painting. And the center of the painting is Isabella, and she's looking up at the angel. And the center of the painting is between the two faces there that you're looking at. So there is something I want to mention to you. In gold, in design, on the shoulder of the angel, the right shoulder of the angel, there is a design there that's got some curls. And in my opinion, this is a monogram by Rubens, and I'll explain more to you later, but it is the center of the painting, and it is it will be, in my opinion, the only known monogram by Peter Paul Rubens, and it's there in the center of the painting. And let's go to the next page. This is work that I've had done on this painting by computer. And I have a real lady who's a great artisan, and she was able to go back and redo the skin, the face, the detail of the color, and she helped with replacing the angels above, so you can see how the angels would appear. These are a replacement. I will show the original background, but this shows more how it is finished. You'll notice the man in the barred window is peering out. He does appear, in my opinion, to be the face of Van Dyck. And he is holding a book or a Eucharist in his hand at the lower part of the barred window. That is an item that would hold a religious item. So this gives you a good feel what it would appear to be in unfinished form, painted by Peter Paul Rubens, but it was a computer rendition of an unfinished painting. And we're lucky that we're able to do this because it enables us to finish an unfinished painting and not touch the unfinished painting. So let's go to the next page. The next page is a black and white copy image of this last colored print, and it gives you a better detail of how it's laid out. You get a better feel of the design. You get a better feel of the angels. And I think the black and white shows a lot of detail, and it gives you a chance to study this painting after it's been worked on the computer. All right, let's go to the next page. This is Peter Paul Rubens and his bride in 1609. They're sitting in a honeysuckle bower, Bower. And if you will do this, notice they both put their right hands on each other. That symbolizes union and their wedding picture. She is dressed to the best. And if you notice in real close, if you look at the vest that she is wearing, there is a design on that vest that I have determined after much study has a lot of curls and stuff, and it is a design that Rubens turned into a monogram of a honeysuckle. I call it the monogram honeysuckle by Peter Paul Rubens, and that is on her vest there, and it was designed by Peter Paul Rubens. You will find later, as we go through this, that you will see that this design was repeated by Rubens himself and the other artists in his studio copying him. And I have found about 15 other paintings using this honeysuckle monogram in their painting on the vest itself. But I'll show you a picture or two later on that. But that is the monogram, in my opinion, by Peter Paul Rubens, symbolizing the honeysuckle and the entanglement of love and faithfulness. And so let's go to the next page. The next page is a image of the altar painting at the St. James Church in Antwerp, and it is over his grave, over the family grave. And on the left, the knight in armor is Peter Paul Rubens himself. That is the face of Peter Paul Rubens. The lady holding his wife, first wife, holding the baby, the naked baby there, and I think that was his daughter's. Is the little baby. Is the lady and his first wife is cloaked in blue over her shoulder, and that is Isabella. The person across from them is his second wife, showing her right breast. The person in the front, the old man pointing up towards the Holy Spirit, is his father, as Saint Jerome. And then there is a saint in the middle of the painting that I think is Saint Peter. Above them are the four angels flying above, and then next to them on the right is a light painting of the Holy Spirit. So this shows you how he ties his face and his family into his own painting. Here he is with his two wives, his daughter, and his father. And this is what encouraged me on checking all the art by Rubens, of which I've done. Let's go to the next page. The next page is a close-up of the vest worn by Isabella in the 1609 painting. Here you will get a better feel of the design on the vest, and you can see where he uses this symbol or this monogram of a honeysuckle to show it's more of a family love symbol. It was used only in the portraits of families, a union between a husband and wife, and that's when this symbol or this monogram was reused in a total about 15 paintings that I have, and I have a list of them that I will make you a copy of. Let's go to the next page. This is the same black and white image of the 1609 wedding painting, and it shows my first study in doodling to match the design on her vest. I'm not the greatest artist, but I did see in that I kept seeing, I've seen this image before, I've seen this design before, and after doing this, I was able to find this monogram, a honeysuckle monogram, in my opinion, on other paintings. Let's go to the next page, please. All right, this is a list, first page of the list of the paintings that had the honeysuckle symbol on it. This is page 1 that goes through 1 through 13. Let's go to the next page. The second page covers paintings from number 14 through 17. So this gives you an idea of the paintings, the date, who painted them, and who used the monogram symbol of a honeysuckle. So let's go to the next page. The next page is a black and white print of a close-up of the design on the right shoulder of the angel Michael, and you will see this is the center of the painting between Isabella and Michael and Archangel Michael, and this is, as you will see on the next page, my interpretation of which this is out of all the markings and signatures and monograms I've studied in my life, this I was able to pull a PPR out of this design. Let's go to the next page. The next page is some markings showing how he would sign his name, Peter Paul Rubin. I did in the center of this, I did a design, in my opinion, showing the two lines that outline a P and a P, a double P. Then it shows a part of a P, but an R, a leg of an R on it. This is my opinion in that design, showing that this is a monogram by Peter Paul Rubin. And I know you think I have a good imagination. I do, but I do own the painting. So let's go to the next item. The next item is a close-up of the two angels looking down on Isabella and Michael. Then the next item, next page, is the other two angels looking at each other on top of, overlooking Isabella and Michael. Go to the next page. Here is the two previous photos are at the top of this page, and on a painting by two angels with John the Baptist and Jesus as babies in the front of the painting at the bottom. As you notice, they are very similar. The next page, you will see a close-up in color, giving you more design style of the angels above and the gold work in this painting, which is super rare. Let's go to the next page. This is the last color. This is a print of the color reconstruction on the computer, and I was real pleased with this. It gives you such good details. I listed that here so you could see it and study it better. What I'm now at the end, and I hope to be able to make clear, if you have any questions, you can contact me. But I started collecting back in the 70s, mid-70s, from an antique shop at Schindler's Antiques in Charleston, South Carolina. And I started studying the William Aiken Walker paintings of the early slaves in the South. And from that, I was able to buy a painting that I think is by James Reed Lambton of John D. Rockefeller, the first painting of a portrait of John D. I purchased that in October of 1999 for a price of $900. Still working on that painting. That's the one I carried to Colonial Williamsburg, and Barbara Luck mentioned to me that I had to do all the research myself if I was going to get it done, and she was right. As far as any assistance from art dealers, restoration people, it's very difficult because nobody wants to get into trying to test and prove an item. If they don't have the provenance, they normally will turn down any work on it. The key question I would ask anybody who was going to restore my painting: can you go to the museum and match the same paint and any makeup, any details at the museum? And they would turn it down, and of course the museums will not allow that. The altar painting was bought in 2001, as I mentioned before. I purchased a John Singer Sargent painting in 2002. I bought my first Roy Lichtenstein, an abstract painting, untouched, natural painting. It's signed by him, and it's 2004. Carried that one to New York and back. It was turned down by the Lichtenstein Foundation. They were afraid of it because they didn't have all the provenance. Then in 2005, excuse me, in 2005, I bought a Aratus Field painting portrait, which is nice. Again, in 2005, I purchased a John Brewster, which is a sea captain. Sold that painting for $7,500. That was nice. Then in 2008, I did buy another Roy Lichtenstein, a self-portrait. It matches the other Roy Lichtenstein. It was confirmed by Dr. Kaiser. The same paint was used in both paintings, the Lichtenstein two paintings, and he confirmed it was done by the same artist. And then the last one that I gave on chapter 1 was James Whistler, and you have the story on that one, chapter 1. Listen, if you got any questions, I've done a lot of research on this. I'm real excited about the monogram. I think decoding Rubin has been a challenge, but I will keep this painting in my collection along with the other paintings I have. And I have about 4 or 5 books on just this one painting. So I think I have enough to confirm it. And I'm just real pleased with the outcome and how it matches, the image matches, the monogram matches. So please, if you have any questions, give me a call. I appreciate your interest. Take care, and that'll be all. Thank you.